Hello there, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. A couple housekeeping things real quick. I noticed in the first session the engine sounds during the race were particularly too loud. I've lowered the ambient sound to about 2/3 of what it was, so that should balance things out a little bit better. And I also, as a scheduling matter, just wanted to mention that the plan is to get 2 episodes up a week of any game that I'm featuring on the channel. This is about a day later than I had intended to get this up, but there were some technical issues. I believe that those have been sorted now. We'll find out. And so it's time to move on with the rest of the challenges. One of the rookie ones down. We get finished sprinkler savvy last time. 2 more before we can see what's at the pro level. 5 more before we can see what's at the all-star level. We'll take a quick gander at those when we're able, but that's going to be down the road a bit. Last race of the WMC, Chapman can secure the Drivers' Championship without even getting on the podium. However, after a crash-heavy and rain-soaked first lap, the plan must evolve. Oliveira is closing fast, and her position will directly impact where Chapman needs to place. Can he overcome the odds? So we must have Harry Chapman win the Drivers' Championship. Another player accessory will be available for new careers if we succeed, and this is a 1-race duration again. And while this is loading up, I have done a few of these challenges before, not all of them. And this one took me, I think, a couple tries or so to complete. So if things don't go our way, we could be looking at a repeat of this until we get it, but hopefully not. So we're headed off to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, one of the great cities of South America, of course. And naturally, I'll be editing out most of this loading screen here. It doesn't take too long, but longer than is useful to show, I think. I've never found loading screens that entertaining. I don't care what BioWare says. Okay, and here we just get, again, a review. They want to make sure we know what's going on. Same information. And here we are. So let's take a look at our situation here. We are in the 4th lap. We're under caution. You can see that Vargas has crashed and Campbell has retired. Everybody else is out on intermediates because it is wet. It looks like it's going to stay a little damp, not super wet, but probably not dry enough to come in. It's pretty warm out today. Not that hot, but 23 Celsius there, and we can see the rain has stopped, but it's expected to pick up again in light fashion. And track grip, we're going to get a bit, and then it's going to go away. Okay, so we are at 7th with Chapman and 9th with Robertson. Chapman did well to get that plus 15% performance increase, race trim that comes from the qualifying. He's good on intermediate tires, level 1 there. And he's a +2 in the rain, so that's good. He's going to be better than normal, but he's not feeling too good today. 3.8 on the form there. See how his car's looking. not bad. And then we have Robertson for our second driver. Form is decent, but no better. He's a smart driver, brakes smoothly, and thrives on the unknown, so he's adaptable to different types of racing. And he's got tire change improvements to his pit stops, but we see no race trim there. And his car's pretty good too, but looks like he's got a couple parts maybe a little bit more banged up. And of course, we're going to stick with the careful approach since we're under caution. I'm wondering about the refueling. Yeah, there's no refueling option in the pits because pretty much our fuel has to last the whole thing. So we're just pretty much talking about tires if we're going to come in. Chapman just went to intermediates. He had ultras to begin, and he's got a 75% opinion of his car. Robertson says 71%. So again, that's not stellar. And of course, our goal is Chapman wins the championship. And up right now, he's 9 points on Ana Oliveira. So that's going to be a thing to watch. Chapman in 7th, Oliveira in 10th. Alright, let's get this sucker underway. So we don't really care about the team or any such thing going on here. We're interested only in having Chapman win. Alright, I'm going to pause it here real quick because it looks like we're picking up. And let's start burning to stay as high in the field as we can. I'm hoping his form, Chapman's form, is going to pick up some. Robertson already been passed by Oliveira. I was hoping that he'd be able to hold her back, but that doesn't look like it's happening. I'm going to shift to a more above things view. I think maybe about there, a little bit of angle, but mostly above. Alright, yeah, we definitely want to back off. I've gone too hard on the tires, so I'm going to conserve a little bit there. Let's take the long view. Let's conserve the tires a bit. That was not the smoothest move there on my part. You can see Oliveira already up in 3rd. And now just a 5-point lead. Nina Holtz has crashed. Do we want to come into the pits? You know, and that's a good question. What's going to happen here? Looks like the water is going to decrease. It's going to stop raining. And yeah, it's going to be wet for a few more laps, but for part of that, we're going to be under caution. So I think it's worth coming in for dry tires. Alright, let's see how that rolls for us. Definitely want to back off, of course, on the tires and on the fuel. Save as much fuel as we can for later. I think this is actually overall bad for Chapman because he can't really make use of that wet weather skill that he's got while we're under caution. Everybody else is going to stay on the wet tires, and that makes sense. They're going to have a couple laps where they're probably going to pull away from us, but then after that I can really see us making up some ground. So this might have been a nice break for us. We're going to find out. We're not going to push real hard at first until the track dries out. That's just going to be counterproductive on these tires. So we've just got to patiently wait here. We are the last two cars in the field. Still looking like it's going to dry out soon. Twenty laps to go. I think I want to pick up to conserve here on the tires. Make sure they don't get too cool there. And still got us a point ahead of Oliveira, despite the fact that she's in third. So she's got to get up to second to beat us. A lot's going to depend on whether she continues to perform well. Alright, I think it's time to pick up to medium and neutral as we get going. Now we've got to finish 8th or above because Oliveira is up to 2nd. So for the first time we are not where we want to be. But let's see, we're having a little bit of trouble keeping up with the pack. The rain has not yet stopped. Not going to stop for a lap or two. And there's Chapman up to 15th. So, he's actually doing alright, even with the rain. He's not pushing anything. Just moving up through, and Oliveira is up to first, which means we need to finish 6th or better. I like where we are on the tires, slowly gaining temp. I think I want to get Chapman moving a little more. I think it's time for him to really start attacking here. Faster gets up through the field, the better off he's going to be. Back to 12th, but then up to 10th. And lots of drivers going into the pits. He's up to first now, so we just want to back off, I think, and just cruise around. Nobody in front of me, save the engine, push later if we need to. I actually want to slow Robertson down because Oliveira is behind him. I'd like him to slow her up if he can. She's catching him pretty quick. Lots of fuel left. The question is, do I really want to push the car? And I want to wait on Chapman before pushing too hard. wait till Oliveira gets under a second. There we go. I'm going to move him up to high so he's got plenty of gas, and the backup strategy here, I want him to slow Oliveira up as much as possible. The worse she does, the better off Chapman's going to be. But I'm hoping he can just pull away some here. So if I can conserve the tires a bit. Well, that didn't last long, did it? Might have helped a bit, though. Don't have to worry about Oliveira passing here, really, because if she does, she does. The main thing is not for Chapman to win the race, but to win the driver's title. So, really, he's racing against the field at large, not Chapman specifically. Yep, and there she goes. Still just got to stay top 6. Let's take a look at our weather. It's going to start raining again. So I'd like to try to stay out until it does, if I can. Definitely want to keep conserving the tires. Get as close to that mark. Yeah, it's still going to be a few laps. Get as close to that mark as I can. And then see whether it's going to be intermediate or wets, but it should be a good, convenient change for me right when I'm getting to the end of the current tires. Looks like the pit stops are really working in my favor here, so I really like the odds. We've got less than 10 laps to go, liking the odds here. I'm going to back off on the tires here for Robertson. They're getting a little burnt. And now comes the rain. And the question of how long do we stay out? Outlet's gonna get pretty darn wet. That's an absolutely hideous turn there by Chapman. No, you don't need a pit for inners yet. No, you don't either. So yeah, that turn cost Chapman a lot of time. I think I'm going to go around one more lap. And then we're going to come in. Okay. I think we're going to be our last change. We're going to want to be on wets at the end, I think. Be a few laps where inters would be better, but if we need to really make a push at the end, The rain's going to come pretty steady from here on out. I think we definitely want to go to full wets. Probably going to have to race fairly conservatively at the end. Oliveira running away with the race, but we're still up 5 in the drivers. Quick changes. Chapman drops to 6th. Let's bump up to neutral here on our tires. And we're going to want to push those about as hard as they can take. We can see Chapman's form is up to decent. No, you don't. So both of them have been driving slightly better than they were feeling at the beginning. Six laps to go. Chapman is in 6th and needs to hold that spot. As it keeps getting wetter, I think that's going to get easier because nobody on wet tires is close. We've still got some others out there up to 3rd as drivers go into the pits. Yes, you do have quite a bit of fuel to spare, but I don't want to kill your engine. I don't want to take that chance. Try never. We're accomplishing what we need to do here. Unless we blow this, we're accomplishing it. So let's not push it if we don't have to. Another lap or two and we're going to be doing well even compared to the cars on inters. We definitely want to push the tires more, both drivers. Plenty of tire to push them to the end. So that should help us. Now we're nice and wet. I would imagine we'd probably start picking up on Zielinski. But we're not. Still falling further behind. Even though Zielinski is on intermediates. Either way, Chapman would have to lose 4 spots at this point, and one of them is his teammate. To not get this done, so drops a spot against Vasquez. I don't really care. We are within 3 laps now. Having trouble from, yep. Good thing we're not pushing. No, we're going to ignore that too. Actually, I think you're going to back off to low, because that's looking particularly unhealthy. Definitely do not want to be aggressive here. We just want to finish the race. Zelensky is now starting to suffer with those interns, falling back towards Vasquez, Chapman, Robertson. Not super fast though. Rain is lightening up. Looks like the worst of the water is over. Also looks like we need to back off on the tires here so they don't get too hot. And the final lap. Figures like we're definitely going to finish 4th. 2 points up over Anna Oliveira. She made a game effort of it. She's going to win this race. Win the battle, but we're going to win the war. And the last couple of turns here. Oliveira has won. Robertson drops back to 6th behind Saarinen, but we don't particularly care either. Chapman turns for home, and that is it. Lots of fuel left over, but the car was not going to handle being super aggressive here. All right. $30 and 34 seconds behind. Competitive. Zelensky finished pretty good. And really surprising despite the intermediates. Isabella had herself a strong car there. 7th and 11th in qualifying. 11th in practice. So, given that, did pretty well to finish up that high. And there again is our Drivers' Championship. Robertson drops to 8th. Chapman sticks in 1st. Only 3rd overall in the Team Championship, just behind Hammer Villan, with Scuderia Rossini in 1st. Saarinen not too happy, being ambitious there. And nothing from our drivers. We simply won the championship. There it is. We have completed the second challenge. What do we get now? A hat pack. Yes, we can wear a rooster on top of our head, or an army helmet, or a couple of somewhat more stylish caps. One of those may actually be useful. might think about using that in the future. So again, we've completed the Fighting for Fifth challenge. There's a nice little warm up there. So that's going to do it for this session. Going to be looking at our third rookie challenge next time, and that's going to be a little more lengthy. We've got multiple races to go on that one. It's a little more complicated. We'll take a look at the team breakdown, what the racing teams do in between races, all of that fun stuff. We've got to expand the strategical vision beyond the one race, doing full race weekends and all of the things that lead up to them. So that'll be awaiting us next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.